Hello family and friends and fellow YouTubers, it's Kim here from Kim's Country Corner, and today I am out here at the Hancock Homestead and it is Memorial Day weekend. It has been a very busy weekend and I thought that today I would do a walk around to show you some of the changes that have been going on here on the homestead during the month of May. I did an April walk around and now I thought it would be fun to do a May walk around just to see some of the changes. So come on along and let's go take a look. Okay friends, so let's take a look at this she shed to see some of the changes that have occurred. Not a whole lot, but I have done some cleaning. If you guys remember from last year, I had come in, completely taken everything out and painted. And the paint really did brighten it up in here. I do not have electricity in here, so I have to work by natural light of the window and of the doorway. But it gives me enough light with those two sources. But as you walk in, if you look over here in this corner, I have a box here with some of my garden tools in it. We have a scoop shovel for cleaning out the chicken house, a grass rake, you know, just some of your essential tools. I love my garden weasel. That I use all the time, especially in the flower garden. You know, some extra buckets and stuff. And then we do keep the sporting stuff in here, basketball, badminton, horseshoes. They're all in that tub. And then my watering cans are all in this little bin here. So, plenty of storage. And then I have my potting table with my tools here. And then these commercial tubs I got for keeping my potting soil in for whenever I'm potting either seedlings or repotting house plants, you know. Just works out nice to have tubs for soil. And I don't have any soil right now, but I usually keep it right in there. So, and then I have my shelving units for all of my supplies. There's all my tomato ingredients down there. An old dish pan that I sometimes like to put geraniums in. I like the denim blue with red geraniums, but anyway. A basket here that's got just a few simple tools with my gloves, wire clippers, some stencils in there. My pan of seeds here. That light up there, my sister gave me 1 year for Christmas for starting seedlings indoors. I have to use it indoors because it is electricity. It does need electricity. So I have all my baskets hung up now. So that gets them up off my shelves. But still gives me easy access to them. And then I did put a chair in here, a rocking chair. I like to come in here and just sit sometimes and think. Future plans for the future gardens, you know. This is an old dry sink that I would like to scrape and repaint someday. A dry sink is an old-time vanity. They used to put a big bowl with a pitcher that would sit on top. And then your towels and wash rags would hang there. And then you would have these shelves down here for more towels, wash rags, and, you know, just basic bath essentials. And it was called a dry sink, you know, because all you had was the round basin tub with the pour pitcher, you know, the old-fashioned pour pitcher. And so that's an oldie but goodie. And I really want to get it scraped down and repainted someday. These chairs, we use them outside alongside the little picnic table there. When the grandkids come to visit, they usually sit on the bench and Karen and I will put a chair on each side. Some extra bird feeders and an extra hook that I want to get up someday. And then over here is just, in this corner is another round pan with some tools. My broom. cat hole where the cat can come in and feed. So Mr. Frog back there. I got Mr. Frog one year because it reminds me of my son. My son is always traveling, hence the suitcase, and he always has on sunglasses. And I don't know, I saw him one year in a nursery and I just thought, that's got to go into Paul's garden. One of these days I'll get him down there. So then up here John put in a shelf, and on this shelf I keep my knickknacks. This is a birdhouse that my brother gave me one year for my birthday. We had gone on a road trip together and we stopped in this little country general store, and they had a whole display of birdhouses. And since it was my birthday weekend, he asked me to pick one out, and I did. I loved this one. It had a porch swing on it. And I used to have this outside. I was going to use it as a birdhouse, which is what it was intended for. But the first windstorm, it blew this porch swing off, which was one of my favorite parts about the birdhouse, was the porch swing. And I still have it. I just need to get it back on there. But after that, I decided this birdhouse is coming indoors where it can be kept safe and as a memory. So it has made it to my shelf. And then on down are some seashells I've collected over the years. This big seashell I actually got in high school. I had gone on a trip with some friends to Florida and found that in a souvenir shop. And I don't know, I liked it. And so that was my souvenir from Florida. I think it says Florida on the base here. And then some other seashells I've just collected over the years. And then I have my girl and boy gnome with the mushrooms that say faith, hope, and love, which is from a Bible verse. I think it's Corinthians 13:13. And I have them sitting on wooden blocks because one year I had used them inside a planter. So to get them raised up in the planter, I had glued them onto wooden blocks. But the planter since broke. We just have terrible winds, and it just seems like whenever I try to put things outside, they just get blown away. So I took them out of the planter and threw the planter away, and then kept, of course, my gnomes and my mushrooms. And I don't know what. I may just leave them there. I might try to make another planter one day, but for now they're going to sit there and watch over me. They're good luck for gardeners. And then on down I have this ceramic flower pot arrangement. It's supposed to be a hummingbird waterer because these petals are shaped so that they hold water. But I don't use it for that, of course, because I have it in here. It was my mother's. My mother loved gardening. That's probably where I got my love for gardening. Flower gardens, vegetable gardens. And so this was one of her items. And when she passed, I took it on as one of my keepsakes as a reminder of her love for gardening. And then just a couple baskets down there. And then I found this, it's a metal tin sign, and I really liked what it said. I dream of a world where chickens can cross the road without having their motives questioned. And I just thought that was so cute, you know, playing on that phrase, why did the chicken cross the road, you know, and all the jokes that go along with it. And in my world, chickens can cross the road whenever they want, and they don't have to be questioned about it. So, although my chickens are penned, because I don't like them roaming. They dig holes in my yard, and they lay their eggs wherever they want, so we keep ours penned. But anyway. Okay, so this is the end of my she shed tour. I hope you liked it. I am enjoying it. I would like to get it a little bit more homey feeling as I go, but I do love to sit in my rocking chair and dream about future gardens and future flowers and future vegetables and just new things I want to try out here on the homestead. All right, so that's it for this month tour of the she shed.